and welcome everyone to another episode of Just Playin. Your host here, the Impaler, will be playing today. I'm going to be playing some Dark Souls online PvP. Right here, my setup is pretty much my Stunlock class. It's kind of like my noob class, if you would. I'm just going to try to Stunlock a couple guys. First fight we go into. I've faced this dude plenty of times online. He's kind of a douchebag. He's a spawn ganker, and he doesn't bow. He just starts swinging, and he also tries to Stunlock you with the dragon head stone, which is a pretty cheap thing to do. So I don't even bother bowing or trying to do anything honorable with him and his little buddy right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to force him into a bottleneck, 300 style, and I'm just going to throw fire at him until I can lock him in. I must note, generally in PvP I don't do this, but sometimes you gotta use the same cheap attacks that your enemies are using in order to beat them. You know? That and my connection to the internet is not really all that great, so I get lag stabbed quite a bit. So here I am, just gonna box him in, throw some great chaos fireballs, and kill him real quick. This is actually kind of a short battle. Nice little opening for you guys. Here we come to round 2, another fight. Here it's a 2-on-1 with a friendly guy. As you can see, the other dark blue dude, he's a friendly. And they're just trying to magically take him out. So I'm not even going to bow or anything either. I'm just going to come in and backstab this dude and start swinging. I can't stand it when people do this to me, and I always come to the aid, if you would, of guys that are victims of this. Because in Dark Souls PvP, I have a certain set of rules that only I follow, and one of them is, you know what, if you're trying to take a guy on 2-on-1 and I'm coming in to help, you know what, the hell with honor. I'm going in and I'm helping you. See, this guy probably would have died if it hadn't been for me to jump in. You know, I can't stand it when people do it. Third fight is actually a 2-on-1, and the only reason I actually attacked this dude with my friend here is because he is a spawn ganker, which, if you don't know what that means, that basically means he stands right where you spawn, or one of the spawn points where you invade, and he just starts attacking you before you even have a chance to do anything. So that's why I was like, you know what, I ain't having you. And as you can see, because he's using a great sword two-handed, he's trying to Stunlock me, which is another noob thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take his attention and keep all of his eyes on me while the other guy here just magically takes him out. Bam, that's it. Game over. But now back to the things I can't stand. If you try to use a 2-on-1, I'm jumping in. Another thing is, if you just try to attack someone with a weapon that does bleed, you're getting swung at. I mean, because if you're just going to sit there and two-hand a weapon and make somebody bleed out, that's a noob thing. You're going to get attacked. You know, you're going to get backstabbed from behind. I mean, completely blindsided. It doesn't matter to me. I can't take it when people do that crap. And then they get pissed off at you for doing that, but you know, it's whatever. This fight, actually, I get killed by this guy after he summons his phantom here, but he actually is a Dark Souls. He fights with honor. He doesn't make it a 2-on-1. He summons this phantom, and he lets me fight the phantom 1-on-1, which is, you know, you don't see that often in Dark Souls. So you're here, I'm actually like, okay, what's going on? What are you going to do? So I was like, okay, he's not coming at me, so let's just bow, see what this guy does. Alright, he bows to me. So I was like, okay, this is actually going to be a legit fight, right? So me and him start going, because the other guy, the Jack's Dead Liver dude, he's just standing over there watching. So I'm like, okay, this is great. I can actually fight someone 1-on-1. And then this freaking Forest Protector magic dude starts joining the fray because he's an enemy in the game, and that's where Jack's Dead Liver comes in. I'm like, oh crap, never mind, it's actually a 2-on-1. Not. He just goes and kills that dude and runs away. I mean, I was shocked. I'm like, are you serious? He's actually gonna play with honor and play fair if you would. So here I'm just gonna stun lock this dude real quick and kill him. Kind of a cheap thing on my behalf, but I'm just trying to demonstrate to you viewers the different things that you can do in Dark Souls and the different setups. So because this dude, he's actually such a, you know, kind, courteous player, if you would, I'm just gonna let him do his thing and take out these forest protectors so we can fight one-on-one. That's why I'm not engaging him right now. I'm just letting him, you know, take out these dudes and heal himself and all that good stuff, you know. And then we'll get on. We'll get it on. And in the meantime, the other things that I can't stand, and I will attack you without no hesitation, is if you use Wrath of the Gods. That is, I call it Wrath of the Noobs, okay? You're cheap if you use that. You're a prick. You are a loser. And if you use that against anyone, I don't care who it is, I am going to attack you. Without bowing, without doing anything, I am going to attack you. That's just how it is. Here I'm throwing a little bit of fire at this guy, and he's trying to cast an anti-magical barrier to me, which I've only seen this move done a few times in PvP, so that's why it kind of caught me off guard. But I didn't even recognize what it was. So I was like, okay, I don't know what this is doing, but surely we'll find out, right? So what I decided to do is just kind of wait it out, because usually area effect spells like this don't last that long. And right there, when I tried to use my pyromancy, that's why I figured, oh, okay, this is an anti-magic field. So, see there, it went away. Now I'm gonna throw some more fire at him. And yeah, see, he's kind of healing himself real quick. I could have ran in for a backstab. My timing was a little off. I was too busy throwing fire. Trying to parry him right there, and it's not working. And see, right here, if I switched to two-hand, but I didn't switch to my sword. I could have stun locked him and killed him right there, but that was just, I didn't switch to my sword. And here I get backstabbed, and that's the game. I'm dead. He actually shrugs right here, and he sent me a message saying he didn't mean to backstab me, but I was like, whatever, it's all fine. I mean, you actually are a courteous player, so you know what, if I lose to you, that's fine with me, but if I lose to a douchebag, then no, it's not fine. Here I'm changing things up a little bit. I'm switching from my great sword to my magic claw and my golem armor to my dark wraith armor and all that. Just a little bit something, a little different, you know. I actually prefer using this class just when I'm screwing around, not really trying to play hard or anything. Because it's not, I mean, it's not feasible really. I mean, the claw's a good weapon and all, but it's just, for PvP it's not. I don't find it very effective. See, here we get some more guys that not even gonna bow or nothing. They're just gonna come and start swinging. So okay, we'll get it on. And I can tell if how many people they have is because the color of that guy that was attacking me right there, since he's like glowing, I know he's a summoned phantom. So I know there's more than one at least. So without even looking, I already know there's two of them. So here, instead of trying to take them both out in the open, I'm going to try to force them into a bottleneck. Getting flamed by the freaking dragon head flame attack, which is another new thing. Get them right here on the bridge where I can kind of relatively take them one-on-one, but they kind of back me up and I'm forced to face them two-on-one. Here I just like, you know what, I'm gonna kill him or he's gonna kill me. So I switched to my claw, and see, the thing is, my claw does bleed damage. That's why I'm just swinging on him. This guy he knows it's over, but he's gonna kill me anyway, just to be a prick. So it's whatever. I mean, he's just mad that I beat his little buddy. You know, I outsmarted him. Whatever. Here I'm coming to the new Londo ruins, and here I'm actually using my katana and my great shield rather than my claw or my great sword with my regular blood shield. Just a little something different. This guy right here that I'm going to fight, he actually uses Power Within, which is a pyromancy spell that increases your stamina regeneration, your attack, and pretty much everything offensively about you, but it slowly drains your health, so... What I do is I take my time, because eventually, with him using this, he's going to want to heal himself, which, right there, here it is, and look, backstab. You don't heal around hero. Throw some fire at him, keep him on the ropes. And I'm assuming this guy also has a lot of humanity, because he's using a chaos weapon, which... Chaos weapon's strength and power is based off of your humanity, so if you have a lot of humanity and you're using a chaos weapon, you're gonna do a lot of damage. So that's actually what I'm using too, is my chaos Uji Katana. See right there, just do a little quick stab and kill her. She only had 13,000 souls, it ain't that bad. Here we roll over again. Another guy. This guy is a complete... I forgot to mention this, but also another thing that I will attack you without question is, and without mercy, if you would, is if you do what this guy is about to do. He's going to use Tranquil Walk of Peace and then Wrath of the Gods me. There's Tranquil Walk of Peace. I can't run, and he's just going to try to use that on me. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And as you can see, I have no option but to just sit there and try to defend myself. I can't attack him. So, I'm thinking, really, dude, you are such a... What a noob. And then he's using Qualog's Fury Sword, which is another... It's not really a good weapon for PvP, but if you see a guy using it, you already know he's a noob. Because it's really the only cool-looking sword in the game that has spikes and all that good stuff, so... I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna go, okay. See, right there when I see him pull out his little talisman, I'm thinking he's going to do it again. I'm like, yeah, you can go right ahead, but it's too late. I'm just going to start wailing on you. You know. Back him up. You go right ahead and heal. You know. Wait for your little spell to wear off. Now we can fight. Now, despite this guy being a complete noob, he actually is pretty smart. He's going to just keep rolling around and slowly whittle me away. Because he knows that I have to drop my guard for a moment to swing on him. And he actually does a pretty good job at whittling me down. But what he doesn't understand... Well, he does understand, but... What makes him run away so much is my katana is doing bleed on him. So he knows he can't take too many hits from me in quick succession, or else I'm going to make him bleed out and kill him. So that's why he's doing this little running gun, you know? And every time I do get a hit on him, he makes it a point to back up. See, here we're both gonna heal, which is, you know, whatever. See, right here I'm like, okay, let's go head to head. And he's like, no. I'm gonna bleed out and I'm gonna die. So he goes back to his little rolling and then running and... But fortunately for me, he does not try to pull out his little talisman and do his Wrath of the Gods Tranquil Walk of Peace on me anymore, so... When I see him running, I already know I have him on the ropes. That's how you can generally tell if somebody is not really skilled in PvP. Is when they really start to run. Or when they are about to die and they do something just completely outright cheap just to beat you. You know? Then you come back and you kill them again, so it's all fun. So right there I get him. I bowed him because I tried to play with honor. He didn't, so it's whatever. Now here, this next class, this next setup I'm about to show you guys is my S-Stock, my Divine S-Stock Grass Crest Shield setup. This setup is more designed to parry and riposte and do critical damage. I'm not really trying to score a lot of blows, but the few blows I do score, believe me, I'm gonna do some damage. This is the only fight in this whole video where I actually get invaded. Which is fine with me. I mean, you know, it doesn't matter to me as long as I get to play people online. So, here he is. He invades me. And I'm like, what are you doing up there? So, hello. So I realize and I notice he has a rapier and a small shield like me. So I'm like, okay, this might actually be a good fight. So I was like, okay, let's see what kind of player you are. So I bow to him. And he bows to me. A little delayed, but he bows. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be good. And here we go at it. Now with rapiers, or pretty much any thrusting sword in the game, you're not trying to do, see, as you can see, my individual hits are not really damaging, and his individual hits are not very damaging. Where these weapons excel is backstabs and parry ripostes. And that's what me and him are trying to do to each other. That's why, like, when you see me, like, swing my shield out, that's what I'm trying to do, is parry one of his attacks. And that's what he's trying to do to me, too, so it's just it's a guessing game. It's a game of chess. That's why whenever you play PvP, it's never a good idea to do the same things over and over again, because someone like me will quickly assess the time that I need to parry, and it's over. So, here, I'm just sort of dancing around a little bit. This is actually a pretty fun match. I enjoyed it, personally. Because it was based on skill of the player, not cheap attacks and, you know, stun locks and all that good stuff. See, right here I parry him and I kill him right here, but I actually sent this guy a message saying this was actually a really good fight. So yeah, there it is. Done. You know, that's a beautiful fight in my book. A lot of my fights on Dark Souls are not this nice. It's usually really, really quick, and I usually get stun locked or something like that, but whenever I fight somebody that's actually legit and is actually trying to test their skill as a gamer, it's actually really fun. See here, bow to him, he bows to me, so I'm like, okay, another good game here. The only problem is I had my freaking Covenant of Astora equipped and not my Hornet Ring, so I was like, whoops. So I had to back up and quit my Hornet Ring real quick. Now see what this guy's trying to do is he's using his Gravelord Greatsword, excuse me, and what he's trying to do is narrow me into a corridor where he can get a really pretty much, I have no means of dodging. Which, once again, is it's a good idea, but with guys like me, where timing is what I'm about, it doesn't work out that well. See, right here, I'm like, you know what, if you're gonna do that, I'm gonna do the same thing, I'm gonna throw fire at you. That'll get you moving. So he jumps up here, we're playing a little, you know, cat and mouse. See, and the other thing is about the S-Stock, and even like all rapiers and thrusting swords in the game, is they're the only weapons besides like the spear that you can attack while having your shield up. So right here, I get him with a backstab. This is where I get him on the ropes, and I already knew this fight was over because I already knew he was gonna try to heal. See, heal, backstab. And that's the thing is when you play PvP, and I must note this to all you viewers, when you're low on health, do not panic. Do not try to, you know, just don't panic, because fights can be turned around really quickly. See right here, this guy running didn't help him, you know. You need to be smart about how you try to retreat and heal yourself, because if you don't, you're not gonna make it real far. Now here, in this final fight of the video, I pretty much have the same setup, except here I have my strong magic weapon equipped. Which basically means I'm gonna enhance my S-Stock with magic damage and magical properties. Which is really good, which means I'm gonna be able to do magic damage to people. Which pretty much means shields don't mean much to me, I'm still gonna be hurting you. Strong magic weapon, or great magic weapon, excuse me, allows me to do more significant damage with my individual strikes, is what it is. Because it allows my S-Stock to do pure magic damage that goes through armor and shields and everything else. Which is very good. Here I find it's a 2-on-2, I'm like, okay. Now when you go a 2-on-2, it's kind of a guessing game, because the idea is you want to do it 1-on-1 for the most part, but you also want to look out for your other dude. So, see, like right here, this guy sees that I'm kind of getting him pushed to the rope, so he tries to come and backstab him and fails miserably. And then he just gets himself wiped out, so I'm like, okay, that's great. Now it's officially a 2-on-1. You know, this little dude with the axe, he doesn't last for long because he's just regular enemy from the game. As you can tell, he's not blocking, he's kind of just swinging wildly, so I was like, okay, I gotta handle these guys by myself. Great. See? There goes that little dude with the axe. I'm like, great. Now it's truly 2-on-1. And I'm about to die. See, here's a good example of running and healing properly, if you would, if there's a proper way to do it. Because I'm going to force both these guys into a bottleneck here. What this means is they can't backstab me, because I'm going to be looking at them. The only reason I didn't heal on that bridge is I saw that dude casting his magic at me, so it'd be a lose-lose. I would heal, but then I'd lose half my health from his magic attack. You know? So here I was like, okay, I gotta cast Great Magic Weapon again, try to get my sword up, and then I gotta engage at least one of them, and try to at least take one of them with me. So, I get the Great Magic Weapon up, I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm gonna deal with this guy with the scythe, because I've already whittled him down a little bit. And I must note also, guys, is patience is a virtue. Take your time, you have plenty of it. There's too many people that try to, oh, I'm gonna kill him before he kills me. It does not work. See right there? I just killed one. Now instead of fighting this dude, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna run and heal myself again. Which some people would say, oh, that's a sissy thing, and oh, healing's for pussies and whatever, but you know what? When it's a 2-on-1 and you're using healing, guess what? If you can do it, so can I. So, you know. So here I'm going to try to whittle him down with my Great Chaos Fireball, which is seeming to not work. So here it's a 1-on-1, just how I prefer it. My only thing is I need to cast Great Magic Weapon once, my last and final casting. Now what this guy does is actually pretty smart, is he knows what I'm going to do. So he runs the other way and he switches his armor, as you can see. Now what that means is now if I try to run, he's going to be able to catch me. So I'm screwed if I run. And I find that I quickly figured that one out. I mean, I didn't take much, but I actually parry and riposte this guy. It's actually pretty good here. And there it is. Game. It's all over. 2-on-1. I beat them both. Pretty much by myself. That is the conclusion of Just Playin, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment. Hope you guys have a good day. Later.